Hi there, YouTube. We're now on the other side of our home where I'm gonna give you guys a tour of it and the backyard. Right here, we have a sugar tip hibiscus rose of Sharon, which normally it has variegation on it. You can kind of see a little bit on some of the leaves, but for the most part, it looks like it's kind of reverting to all green, which I'm not happy about because I really purchased this for the variegated leaves, but it is what it is. We have a Midnight Masquerade penstemon right here. These are drift roses, which I left them like this because I wanted there to be at least a little bit of color for you guys to see. They're red drift roses, but they definitely need a deadheading. Definitely going to deadhead those. We have a blue penstemon right here, some lilies, a mock orange right there, which is planted from a landscaper plug. And a mock orange is basically, it's the orange plant that it doesn't produce fruit. So it's only gonna produce flowers, and the flowers smell apparently heavenly, like super much like orange, like really, really good. We have the beautyberry bush right here. More drift roses. And two sky pencil hollies right here, which are just marginally hardy in our area. So I planted a couple more that actually did not fare as well as these two, but at least the two in the front look really, really good. And here's just a pan of our containers. They are beautiful this year, but that's gonna be for a separate video. Not gonna really go into too much detail about them now. Let's go ahead and start with everything that's over here because there's not much. There's a dark purple lilac right here. We have some sweet peas right here and some sugar baby watermelons, which are really starting to vine and go for it. Like, look at that on the side of the container. We have some of the sky pencil hollies, like I said, that didn't do as well. But you can see the one right there did a lot better. So I don't know. They are just marginally hardy here. That's probably why they are marginally hardy. We have this container right here, which just has some gomphrena, a canna, and I have some peacock orchids in there. It's not doing very well because this is on that drip system that wasn't running. Yeah, so it is what it is. AC unit. And then one other lilac right here. This one is white with a pink center, and this is actually a lilac hybrid. It's crossed with a hyacinth, and it's supposed to have like an even more extreme fragrance. In this raised bed right here, we have some celery, some strawberries, and some snapdragons that reseeded themselves, which I'm really excited about because I didn't grow snapdragons from seed this year. I have some coral crush petunias right here. This is the Shockwave, and there's a red petunia in there with some chives. This is my shallots bed. So these are all shallots and some snapdragons as well, which reseeded themselves. Look how pretty that is. And if you're ever wondering if you should save your snapdragon seeds, I would say this is definitely reason to do it because this is a specialty variety and it came back true to type. We have a pumpkin on a stick right here. This is a jalapeno plant. And then we have our onion bed right here. There's another celery plant and more strawberries. Look, we got one developing right there. Another jalapeno plant. And then this container, we did a tidal wave silver petunia, a pink petunia, and the double petunia, which I think these are so pretty, along with chives. And then this bed is a lettuce bed with a couple of strawberries, a cabbage, and that's pretty much it. We pretty much do veggies that can be shallow rooted over here. So a lot of bulbs, a lot of like lettuce and cabbages that aren't gonna take up a lot of soil volume because these beds are not very deep at all. We have a holly right here. It's a male and a female holly, so it does get berries. It has a couple of berries on the inside there, actually. And then we have the Princess Kate clematis with the Giselle clematis, which is towards the end of its season. There's a couple of buds on it, so it's still gonna go for it, but it's bloomed out pretty heavily. And then we have a Kiss Me Kate rose right here. All right, let's take you guys into the backyard. This space has changed a ton this year. Like, to me, it almost makes me like pinch myself how much this has changed, because it just looks like a completely different garden than what it was. This space is really starting to seem more put together, in my opinion. We have our hedge of emerald green arborvitaes, which we installed this year. They're all doing really, really well, and they're starting to put off new growth. Like, you can see the new fresh growth on them. They've really done very, very well this season. We have the fountain right here that we installed this year. This was a new thing, and you guys can see the container up there. I'll go through everything that's in it in another video. I don't want to go too much into detail about it, but yeah, this fountain really, really adds some nice ambiance to this space. We have a Kiss Me Kate rose right here, and a bell of Woking clematis, which will grow up into it, which is a white clematis. This is a snowball bush viburnum, and when I say it put on so much growth this season, it put on so much growth this season. Literally, it was like this big last year and this wide, and now it's all of this. And it has the most beautiful, large, ball, white, almost hydrangea-like blooms. We have some dahlias right here. Those are the Can girls from Florette. They're going for it. We have the watercolor mixed dahlias right here. We're just now starting to see our first bloom. That one doesn't look very good. I'm not a huge fan of yellow dahlias, at least this type of yellow. Strawberry vanilla hydrangea, that's new this season. It's starting to bloom. We have a dwarf mugo pine in this bed. We have a peony back there. More dahlias. That's an Eden climbing rose back there. We have this right here, which is the blues weeping spruce. We have some daylilies right here. I want to say the variety name is Matastrovka. I could easily be saying that so wrong, but it's a pink daylily. And then we have the stone patio right here that we uncovered just this week. Like, that's a new addition to the garden for sure. Shasta daisies over here. Golden Falls redbud right here. It is getting chomped on. I need to spray this with some BT. You can see the caterpillar chomps on it. Like, it literally looks like hungry caterpillar just like had a buffet. So definitely need to spray that. Shasta daisy, peony, Shasta daisy, coral crush, tidal wave petunias. Or no, shockwave. So pretty, so pretty. Like, look at that. Look how full that hanging basket is. And that is 3 plants. I'm really, really happy with that. And then this is our Dahlia Field. Tons and tons of dahlias. There's about 65 plants in here. And they're really starting to put off their first blooms. This one right here. We have a really, really pretty one right here. I thought this creamy yellow. This is more my type of vibe when it comes to a yellow. I also like the way these petals are like kind of curving inward. That one's really pretty to me. But the one that has been the prettiest thus far this season is this one. Look at this. This came from the double extreme mix of dahlia seeds, and I just think that this looks like a sunset. So pretty, and I love how it's like a little bit doubled. And then this right here is our pear tree. It does have pears on it right over here. You can see a couple pears. This is what's in my cover photo because I love this tree. I think it is so pretty, in particular in the springtime when it blooms its white flowers. It is stunning. Like, it's a show. Like, it's truly a showpiece. We have a peach tree over here too, which we kind of skip by. And we do have some peaches on it. Now, we don't know if these peaches are gonna be good because in truth, This tree grew from like, basically there was a peach tree here at some point before we moved in, and I think it died, and then it started to sprout from the base, like water sprouts. And one year I decided to like trim it up and let one go, and it became this. So this is probably not the best variety of peach, but we're gonna see if they're actually edible and then determine if we want to keep it or not. We have a blueberry shrub over here, a couple of petite marigolds in containers flanking this pathway, and then right behind the Dahlia Field, we've got a couple of boxwoods right here, some ajuga planted underneath all of these beautiful, 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 incredible hydrangeas. These are my favorite hydrangea. I love the look of the blooms. They look like clouds. The panicles are pretty, but there's something about those like cloud-shaped blooms that are just stunning to me. And this is its third year. We grew this from landscaper plugs, so it was literally just like tiny, 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 tiny little pots. I purchased them on eBay from somebody who I think propagates plants or something. I don't know. But purchased the small plants, and yeah, this is what it is 3 years later. I want to add more to it. I want to add like maybe 2 more hydrangeas on this side and 2 more hydrangeas on this side to really make it a big feature. But even now with just 3 plants, it's stunning. And then we didn't even do this bed. We kind of just skipped over it. Oops. We have our blackberries right here. Look at all the blackberries we're gonna have this year. It's crazy. It's gonna be such a nice blackberry harvest, and it's everywhere, like all the way around. All the way around. There are blackberries everywhere. We have never had a blackberry harvest like this. This is its 3rd year in the ground. It did produce last year just a handful of berries, but this year is like, oh my goodness. We're gonna be able to like share some blackberries with our neighbors and stuff. This is the Olivia Rose Austin Rose. It's kind of past its glory, but it has smelled amazing and it's been super floriferous. Yeah, definitely past its glory. And then we have the Desdemona Rose right here, which, look at that. So pretty. And when I say the smell is just heavenly, these David Austin roses smell so, so, so good. They are not overrated at all. Highly recommend. Rose right here, lily right here, big red rose right here. These were all here when we first moved in, which is why I'm like, rose, lily, because we didn't choose them, so I have no idea what they are. But that rose in the back is massive, and it blooms quite heavily, at least 4 or 5 times throughout the season, and it is so pretty. Not very heavily scented, but very, very pretty nonetheless. Now in this area, this is our production area. Matt will probably have to help me a little bit on some of it because I didn't plant all these seeds. He planted all of the veggie seeds. But I do know that we have tomatoes over here. Tons and tons of tomatoes. Look at the mini tomatoes. They're really going for it. And this is rainbow. So there's like a red mini tomato, a yellow mini tomato, and an orange mini tomato. I want to say it's like Super Sweet 100, Sun Gold, and I don't know what the other one is, but yeah, it's 3 different mini tomatoes. Pepper plant, hosta. This is our little courtyard area where we just have like a little table and chairs. There's some dill that self-seeded itself. There's some lilies in here. Those are going to be stargazer lilies. You can see one of the blooms right here starting to open. Back here we have a sunflower. This is a coneflower that just randomly popped up. So we're leaving it and we're gonna see what it blooms and looks like. There are some loofahs in the bottom of that pot, which I'm gonna grow up this trellis. Look at that. So pretty. Petunias, these are the tidal wave purple. Stunning, smell amazing. This whole area smells good. And only 1 plant in these pots. That's just 1 plant. This is just 1 plant. I do have a double petunia in this pot, but this is all 1 petunia right here, which is crazy to me. And this one, same thing. Just amazing performance. If you're trying to grow a petunia from seed, definitely choose the tidal wave petunias. They just perform absolutely amazing. This is like similar to what you're gonna get from like a supertunia, but you can grow them from seed and save some money. And then this planter right here is all dwarf marigolds. And then in the center, I have geraniums. This has actually turned out really, really pretty. And I would definitely do this again. I've never grown French marigolds, the dwarf marigolds, but these ones, I mean, they're stunning. And it's been putting off blooms after blooms after blooms. All you have to do is just keep deadheading them. And they're kind of going to seed. Like, those are seeds right there. Hopefully they just come up everywhere. We have a columnar apple right here. These two containers right here, which we'll go into way more detail about in the container video. Show that one looks better. How dare you show the one that's doing weaker. We have frosted explosion grass right here. We have some strawflower right there. These are some Cinderella lilac zinnias. And then we have some emerald tassels amaranth right here. And then this is our pepper bed, which is doing pretty good. I mean, look at those peppers. Do you see that? Wow. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. Nothing in this bed yet. Oh, well, actually, I just seeded this with some zinnia seeds. We'll see how that does. There's one painted daisy in there. And that's it for those beds. There's another columnar apple on this side to match the one that flanks the entryway to the garden on that side. We have more peppers right here. This is Sweet William, which is a biennial. So it actually bloomed the first year and it's bloomed the second year for me. And I'm just letting it go to seed right now. This is mint. Okay. I know. Everyone is gonna chew me alive for having mint in the ground. Hear me out. I planted mint in here mainly because everyone told me I couldn't do it. And when I say it's actually done exactly what I wanted it to do, it's done exactly what I wanted it to do. It's not creeped out at all. I have to trim this back probably 3 times in the growing season, or it will try to jump over the garden bed. But as long as you're gonna stay diligent about something, it's not that bad of a plant. This has been in the ground for 3 years and it has not gone anywhere else. And obviously it could. There's compost right here, there's compost right here, but it has stayed right in the center walkway. And I love to trim on it because I make tea with it. So I have a use for it. I also love to trim back the mint, tie them into bundles, and hang them in your shower. When I say that is the nicest spa-like experience ever. And yeah, I'm not saying to put your mint in the ground. Don't put your mint in the ground, but you can put mint in the ground. Does that make sense? There's some sunflowers back here, which are volunteers. We have alpine strawberries right here. I'm gonna fill this up with some other strawberry bare roots. We have some carrots. Potatoes are really going for it this year. There's that wisteria from the other side of the fence. And then we have our baby blue spruce right here. Then we just have these garden beds and one more garden bed. I think that's literally the whole property. You guys will have seen my whole garden. Wow. Weeds right here, carrots. This came back from seed. I grew it last year. It's Auric, but when I say it did not do this last year, it was like a tiny little plant, like the tiniest little plant last year, and then it came back from seed, and this is what it is. And I can't pull it because it's just, look at the color. Do you see the color of that? Like, it's so pretty. I love it, so it's there. These are all of our squash plants and cucumber plants right in this bed. Back here, we have asparagus and one more columnar apple tree. There's a peony right here. And then this is little lily lane right here, which is all orange and yellow lilies, which was not supposed to be orange and yellow lilies. I ordered stargazer lilies, but this is what happened. And I don't hate it, which is kind of weird because I'm not a yellow and orange person, but I actually don't mind these. They're actually pretty, particularly this one. I love the splatter look of those blooms. And then this garden bed is just all beans. We have beans, 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 beans. Lots and lots of green beans. Blue Lake bush beans, improved Blue Lake bush beans, actually. We love the Blue Lake bush beans. They're the best tasting green bean that you can have, like truly, or at least in my opinion. There's a sedum over there. And then there's a Frage Melba hydrangea right next to it. And then, like I said, green beans, green beans, green beans, green beans, green beans. We have a weeping cherry tree right here, which it did do a bit of flowering this year, which was really, really nice because it's its third year in the ground, second year? Second? I think it's its second year in the ground. But it's really starting to put off some weepingness to it. It's been kind of short. Like, it literally looked like it had a bad haircut the first 2 years, and now it's like really starting to get its hair on. We have a spirea right here, another Coral Crush petunia right here. And these are all heucheras that I grew from seed last year. Okay, and this is the final bed, which does not look like much because honestly, I let it get overgrown with weeds this year just to keep it 100% honest. And I just pulled all these weeds like yesterday for this video so that it wouldn't look a weedy mess. And I didn't really plant this up much. I did put a couple of celosias in here. These are the floret celosias, and they are starting to bloom, and they're really looking very interesting. But that's literally pretty much all that I have in the bed is just some celosia. There's a couple of money plants, but they're not doing very well. And that's my entire garden, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys around for whatever video I come up with for next time. It will not be a garden tour. Well, actually, no, next time won't be a garden tour, but I do have a 3-year transformation that I want to show you guys. Google Maps updated the images of our home, and its first image is the sale date of our home. So it really shows the house in the exact condition that we had it in. And then it just got updated, so it shows all the gardens now. And so I really want to show you guys that 3-year transformation all in one video. So that'll be coming up pretty soon. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed my garden, maybe got a little bit inspired or encouraged to do some gardening yourself. Bye, guys.